Hey up troops, it's A Littleton here again with another video. We're not messing about with an intro, we're getting straight into this. Just released like 8 minutes ago, the Year 8 Season 1.2 Designers Notes, aka Patch Notes. I want to get into this, there's some big changes afoot. Right, we're going to scroll down. First thing we're going to look at is the win delta, operator presence versus win rate. As you can see, Iona is, the win rate's down the bottom, the presence is down the bottom, how often those operators are included, and the win rate's up the side, how often they win those rounds when they're included. So what you don't want to see is too many operators around here, and what you don't want to see is too many operators around here. You want to have like a really nice mix between the two. Ideally, you sort of want, as you can see, the balance is really good. Ace, Ash, and Iona are played a lot more than other operators, and you can see you've got Kali, Blitz, Grim, Gridlock, Glaz, Monty, Sense, who are played a lot less than other operators, and your most common operators are here in the middle. What this tells us is that Iona's getting taken a lot because she's got great utility, she's got nades, she's got a really good gun. It's difficult not to warrant taking Iona at the minute, I believe, especially with how popular Aruni is, being able to burn Aruni gates essentially for free to an extent. I'm surprised that we're seeing Ash that far up, because a lot of people don't think Ash is that good anymore. However, I think Zafir, if she wasn't a 1-speed, would probably be up here as well. But Ash is actually very good as a vertical player. 2 breaching rounds, 3 breaching charges. There's a lot of verticality that you can make there. So again, 2 good guns as well. The R4C with the recoils being slightly less now, and with the G36 just being a great gun overall. Although I am still surprised that she's so high up there. Sense, quite low down. However, I think Sense is actually a really good operator. I'm surprised they're not played as often as I think they should be. Grim, no surprises. I don't think there's any massive surprises here other than sort of 3 or 4. Iona is, I mean, that's 70% of rounds, just less than you've seen in Iona, which is mad, really. I'm moving on to the defenders then. Let's just pause this so it stops moving. That's a concern for me. This is a concern. Seeing Oryx that much, when Oryx doesn't really provide that much utility for the team other than a couple of prox alarms, seeing Oryx that high up is a concern, and I think it's going to get addressed a little bit further down. I mean, how often do you see an Oryx use his utility or his gadget or his ability, which is to go up hatches? You never see it, do you? Or you very rarely see it. This is good. I think it's good to see Jaeger back up here again. Obviously, the win delta is slightly further down, but again, this is your main concern, and this is your main concern, and this is your main concern. So tachanka, KAPKAN, and Oryx, and I don't think it'll surprise anyone that there might be some changes coming for those 3 operators as we scroll down. Surprised Thunderbirds got so much of a presence here. And I thought Mute would be slightly higher up as well with how strong he's going to be now with Brava coming into the game. And this also surprises me. However, this is, the Valk surprises me, although this is due to ban rates, I'm sure. So if we have a look at the ban rates, Thatcher Jackal, no surprise whatsoever. I think we've seen Dockerby, excuse me? I think we've seen Dockerby, wait a minute. Where's that going to go? There we go. I think we've seen Dockerby and Osa here because of EMPs. I don't think that's a surprise. Monty, I still think, gets banned because people don't like playing against him. I don't think he's difficult to play against, but people just don't like playing against him. He's just a problem. And I'm surprised to see Ace so high there as well. But top 10 defenders, Mirror, Cade, Valk, no surprise, really. This is Emerald above as well. I'm surprised I'm seeing KAPKAN banned so high up again. A little bit like Monty. No one wants to play against KAPKAN. He's just a nightmare to play against, isn't he? But anyway, let's get into the juicy bits. This is why we're here, right? Look at these changes. Starting with Capitao. Duration. Smoke dart only, not fire dart. Smoke dart's duration is going from 11 seconds from 9. So that's an additional sort of, 20% or so on top of the duration that the smoke's going to be there. Capitao is an unreal operator at the moment. The para with the extended barrel. No recoil whatsoever anyway with a vert grip. 2 smokes, 2 fire bolts, hard breach charges if you want them, a Gon 6. The guy's got everything. You know what he's really good for? Areas like elbow. Sorry, not elbow. I was thinking about elbow then. He is all right on elbow, but areas like big window on Oregon. So you can put a fire dart into the hobo area so no one can play behind the bed. You can smoke off the feet hole so you can jump in the window yourself. He's a really good operator when I mean, he's pretty niche, but jumping into like Villa Closet when you've got the long angle into Statue, you can just smoke yourself off and get in, and then you can use the firebolt down into Astro. Really, really good operator at the minute, and I don't think you're seeing him playing enough, but I'm glad he's getting a change. Next one, this is going to upset some people. KAPKAN, 9x19, is losing the 1.5. KAPKAN has a highly lethal kit. I agree with the impacts in C4 as well. He gave him a variety of different ways to kill his enemy by removing the 1.5 from his weapon. He'll need to be more careful with direct engagements and rely more on his utility. I agree. I think KAPKAN's silly strong. 5 traps that can literally kill people. Not like Legion mines, which technically could kill people, but they don't, do they? KAPKAN traps do kill people. C4, which people generally take. A really good gun with a 1.5. You've got to get him. You've got to get him nerfed a little bit to make him a bit more balanced. This is why we're seeing KAPKAN way up here. Like top 4 operators played, the highest win delta on the that data there tells you that you've got to bring him down slightly by removing that 1.5. I think that's probably a good shout. Now this one is interesting as well. Oryx T5 removed 1.5. Oryx's popularity has increased season over season. Players enjoying the ability to rotate faster than any other defender and surprise attackers. Since the change of his primary weapon, because he did have the MP5 when he was launched, if I'm not mistaken, his presence has increased more than 25% and his KD is one of the highest at the minute. In addition to the 1.5, the T5 with his sight is an extremely powerful combination, which is why we got away from Legion. Yeah, do you remember when Legion had the 1.5? That was mad, wasn't it? Now the players have realised the potential of Oryx's abilities will be removing the sight. Oryx isn't a great defender when it comes to utility. He doesn't give your team anything apart from procs alarms. You know, it's not like you could play Thunderbird, put 3 health stations, Kona stations down and disappear. At least your team then have got 3 health stations. Oryx doesn't even give you that. Really selfish operator, but he was such good roam with the bailiff to open hatches and rotate. He can just break through walls himself to get out of there. Removing that sight, I think we're going to see. And again, this data tells you that he was far too good and far too strong. So you're going to see him come back again. Just from removing 2 1.5 sights, I think you'll see a lot of that. Next one is something that I am over the moon about because I love Wamai. Wamai, we're adding the 1.5 again. I will be playing a lot of Wamai when this patch comes in. Last year, Wamai was hit twice in a row, first by removing the 1.5 and then by increasing the recoil of the AUG. The combination of these 2 changes have caused his win delta to suffer, and if you just nip back up, you can see he's right down here. But I remember the days when Wamai had a shield and a 1.5. It was nuts. But the 1.5 with the extended barrel at the minute is really good. Add a 1.5 onto that. It's going to be a weapon to be reckoned with. Is that the right phrase? I think it is. Absolutely insane. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, this is going to be interesting. Tachanka, a couple of changes. So what we're going to see here, Tachanka's Shamika launcher is going to be increased in the amount of projectiles you get, but reduced where you can only hold 5 in the magazine rather than 7 or whatever you want to call the magazine, whatever that thing is, probably a magazine. Yeah, magazine here. So you're going to go from, instead of having 2 magazines of 14, you're going to have 4 magazines of 5, so 20 in total. Now, what I'm going to show you in a second, what this shows you is how long of an area you can deny with 20 Shamika balls or fireballs, whatever you want to call them. Also, in addition, nobody really remembers that Tachanka's got a 9x19 like KAPKAN, like Azami. Everyone just thinks about Tachanka for the LMG. The LMG is seriously good. The fire rate is really low, but the damage is high, and being able to make rotates for fun it just makes setting up sights miles easier. But having a launcher equipped is and he just goes on to say that it's dangerous to have just your launcher out and not have your weapon out, but they do believe, I think it says here, we still believe launchers can be viable on defense. And they can be. Bank downstairs, you've just got to sit further back. You know, it's not like smoke where you can be sort of up in the fight, chuck your smoke, get your gun back out, getting the launcher out, firing the balls, bringing your weapon back out. It takes time. You've got to be a bit further back away from the fight, and that's why the Shamika launcher can shoot so far. You don't need to be right up in the face of the enemy with the Shamika launcher. Also, if you can be bothered, a bit like people do on Valorant and CSGO, you can learn mad lineups. Cafe prep area, for example, you can bounce a Shamika launcher ball off 2 walls to deny the entry into prep. Elbow on Oregon, you can bounce Shamika launcher balls off 2 walls down blue to deny the blue entrance in basement Oregon. There's a lot of things you can do with Tachanka, but people, I don't know. I still think he faces a bit of stigma from when he used to have the stationary LMG and it was a bit of a meme. I actually think he's pretty... Plus a shield. I'm going to have to play some more Tachanka, man. I'm talking myself into it. So yeah, he now gets a 1.5 and a 2x. So imagine a 2x on the 9x19. Sitting further back away from the area that you want to deny on bank, for example. Sitting further away from the plant, like back in lockers. Using the Shamika launcher over that distance and having a 2x to deny that area as well. Then we might start seeing some more Tachanka, which is needed, because look where he is. Right down at the bottom of the win delta, right down at the bottom of the presence. you can see problem, problem, problem. This needs to come up. These need to come down. And they're doing that by making these changes. This is the interesting one. So smoke can deny an area of 3.6 meters, and it lasts 10 seconds times 3, 30 seconds. You obviously got Goyo, which we all know about. Big area, 4 meters, 4 times 20 seconds, 80 seconds. Look at this. 20 Shamika balls times 7 seconds each equals 140 seconds of area denial. Bear in mind that a round is only 180 seconds, 3 minutes. So you've got just nearly 2.5 minutes of area denial. Nearly. Over 2 minutes, we'll call it. So you could be in bank basement and you could start just denying the plant at 2 minutes. And you wouldn't be able to plant in that area for 2 minutes. That's insane. You could be playing chalet, and if you get the right lineup, you could just start firing balls into half wall at the 2 minute mark. And you know they wouldn't be able to plant half wall. How mad is that? The other change is the extended barrel. So the extended barrel needs a change, in my opinion. I think it was too strong. Nobody used to use the extended barrel except for on a few weapons where you would use it like Frost, where you couldn't use a flash hider or anything else. Everyone uses the extended barrel now, and it's meant the time to kill is a lot, well, is a bullet or two, which is a lot in Siege, a bullet or two less in some instances. So we're going to reduce the extended barrel from the bonus that you get for having an extended barrel from 15% down to 12%. Now I'm going to need to do some maths, and once I've figured out a graph, I'll probably do another video on which weapons are still going to be viable with the extended barrel. But there's like 5 or 6 at the minute which can like down a 2 armor enemy with 2 or 3 shots. That's going to change, no doubt. The para by KAPKAN will probably be affected by that, as will the 5.52 commando for Grim and for IQ. So look, they're the changes. I think there's some good changes. I don't really play Oryx. I play KAPKAN a little bit, but look, people still play as army, still get kills with the 9x19 whilst using as army. You can still get kills with KAPKAN without a 1.5. The Oryx change is good. That's outrageous. That needs changing. And they're going to change that. Not as many people are going to play Oryx if he doesn't have a 1.5, me included. KAPKAN gets a little buff. KAPKAN and Oryx get a little nerf. The wamai change, adding a 1.5 to wamai, I'm absolutely buzzing about. But yeah, some really good changes. Looking forward to seeing tachanka. Let me know what you think, but I'm glad to see it.